knowing that one seat or another could flip the House or Senate. Joining us now to discuss, Republican New York State Assemblyman himself, Jake Blumenkrantz. Assemblyman, great to see you.
Great to be back.
Your thoughts about the redistricting message. I think that the Speaker and the President were looking at Texas and saying we can get more seats out of that red state. Is it wrong for blue states to try to do the same thing?
Look, it's careful what you wish for here, because states like New York have been doing funny business when it comes to the maps for the past couple of years. Since the redistricting, they've tried to rig the lines over and over again. They've gone to the courts. They've gone back from the courts. We've had 3 different sets of lines for Congress, for the House of Representatives and Senate. It's important that we make sure that we do this in a way that doesn't screw us in the end, because Republicans came through under the new maps in New York State. And that's why we have the majority.
But Jake, would you also say that it's not one governor's decision? You have to go through the courts to do this. You don't just sketch this out on a map and change it on your own.
No, New York was supposed to have an independent committee, but that turned into anything but. And currently, the governor is willing to say the quiet part out loud. She's willing to rig the system if she has to.
So talk about the foundation and the grassroots and the messaging coming from Democrats. If they said if past is prologue, they have a plan in place to take back the House. Do you know what the messaging is? Are you listening to it and looking to counterplan it?
Here in New York, the Democratic Party has been marching to Zoran's Marxist drumbeat. Mamdani's Marxist drumbeat. It's been an upsetting view from this side of the aisle, because they are currently trying to court people on anti-Semitic messaging, on messaging that is both populist and communist.
All right, so let me just tell you what the Governor Hochul said when asked by Hakeem Jeffries to take a look at redistricting, because that's what Texas is doing. Says we are following the rules, but if there are other states that are violating the rules and going to try and give themselves an advantage, all I'll say is I'm going to look at it closely with Hakeem Jeffries. Wisconsin could be another place, and California could be another place.
So it sounds like she's saying 2 wrongs make a right here, which couldn't be further from the truth. It is incredibly crazy to think that she thinks this is the right thing to do if she thinks what Texas is doing is wrong.
All right, so we'll see what Hakeem Jeffries says, and because we know that this thing's going to be decided by just a handful of seats. Meanwhile, when you talk about the man who won the Democratic primary, Zoran Mamdani, he's new to me, but he's not to you.
No, he's a colleague of mine in the Assembly.
And how would you describe him?
He's had a score of horrible policies, the ones you see about the grocery stores, making sure everything's free for everyone in the city, freezing the rent, raising the taxes. This is the kind of message he thinks can win an election on a national scale, and a lot of the Democrats agree with him.
And he's made pretty clear he's anti-Semitic. Some of his comments,
100%.
They mock it. And he says, I'm going to arrest Prime Minister Netanyahu if he comes here. He's going to arrest Modi if he comes here.
He wants to defund the police, remove weapons from law enforcement. He wants to dismantle the police department as we know it, and he says with a smile on his face.
Money is pouring into his coffers, along with AOC. So if the Democrats want a moderate message, it's not being supported by the masses. In fact, I got to give Governor Shapiro credit. He, who happens to be Jewish, had the governor's mansion burned down by an anti-Semitic idiot. He came out and took on Mamdani, his own party, and says this: you have to speak and act with moral clarity. When supporters of yours say things that are blatantly anti-Semitic, you can't leave room for them to just sit there. You've got to condemn that. So why is Hakeem Jeffries not doing it? Why is Dan Goldman not doing it? Why is Senator Schumer silent? These are all New York Jewish Americans.
That's a message that New York Jews are asking themselves every single day. Why are our leaders on the left not condemning lunacy in their own party? Why is Governor Shapiro the only one that's standing up and saying something? And the reality is they're scared in their own primaries that they can't win with their own message. And that speaks to the deeper troubles the Democrats are having right now.
To your credit, you came up to me 2 weeks before the primary, and I said, it's going to be Cuomo's. And you said, I don't think so. It's closing quickly. And I said, no, it isn't. You said your polls showed that he was gaining steam. Why do you think he gained steam?
He gained steam because people here in New York are sick and tired of being lied to by the party that is running to the left with no finish line, but not delivering a message. He's saying, I'll give you everything you want and more, and I'll do it for nothing, because the rich guy is going to pay for it. But the reality is we're all going to pay for it with the inflation, with the higher taxes, with the crime increases, because the city won't be the same. And at the end of the day, people here don't care. They just want someone to tell them a message, and they want someone to tell them a message they want to hear.
And they're going to be suing New York, is the Department of Justice, to stop with the sanctuary city. You'd love to see the sanctuary city system go away.
Absolutely.
But it has not been successful in getting rid of it in the courts.
Look, in Nassau County, we've been trying to cooperate as much as possible with the federal government. But here in the city, they're allowing gangs to continue to run free. I mean, you saw what happened that the Czar Holman was talking about when it came to the law enforcement officer who was killed by 2 illegals. He wants to bring in more officers here. We need to see accountability. We need to see the individuals here illegally who are bad actors removed from our streets.
Soon people will realize it's not Democrat or Republican. It's just doing the logical thing. Jake Blumenkrantz, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Assemblyman. Meanwhile, now to this.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.